What in the world could this be? Could it be the Elusive original Vise-Grip that they originally made? Oh my goodness. It seems like it has some of the markings. It looks like it has the shape with that hump back there. In the last video, it was rusty and crunchy. We cleaned it up a little bit. Let's go see if we have the markings that match the original Vise-Grip that they made. Was this the very first pair? I don't know. Let's go find out. Here we go. All right, welcome back to Jesse's Garage. Boy, I got to tell you, from that intro, I don't know. Did we find it? I tell you what, I've been on the hunt for a long, long time. That was one of my unicorns that I've been looking for. And I got to tell you, that thing, as we went through and cleaned it up, kind of revealed some markers that, oh my goodness, I think it might be. I don't know that for sure. Let's go through the video. Let's clean it up. And let me show you what we found. You be the judge at the end. Do some research and verify if we did find that Elusive original pair. Now, you know, I got all kinds of China locks, Vise-Grips. I got all kinds of Vise-Grips. And I got some older ones even. But I never had that pair. Anyways, let's jump into the cleanup. Are you ready? Because remember the last video that we did, we revealed those 6 pieces and we were going to pick one to clean up. Well, let's go clean it up. That's the one I picked. And so let's go through and see what it looks like, and then let's go from there. You ready? All right, let's jump on in. Okay, we are at our ultrasonic cleaner. I don't have it on or anything like that. It's just been sitting, so it's probably, the water's pretty cool. And so I just thought, well, hey, let's just throw some of these bad boys in there and let's see what we can do. First one we're gonna throw in there. This one's pretty clean, has some surface rust, it looks like. So we'll just throw that in there, just like that. And then next, remember this pair? Wow, look at that. I love that. Man, at least the spring is actively working, and so we can do that and move back and forth. So that's cool as all get out, right? And so there we go. That's as wide as it opens up, by the way. But anyways, this is about the cleanup. So I'm going to throw this in there as well. And so got that. And then we got this one here. Now this one, the jaws are locked up, and so it's not moving back and forth at all. So I don't know between the heat and the vibration whether we're going to be able to get it or not. So, but there's that one there. And then we have this one here, which is the one that said Vise-Grip on it. So hopefully you can read that in that area there. So it's not wanting to focus for me. But anyways, so that's what we're looking at in this regard. So we're going to try to see what we can do about that one. So we're going to throw that one in there as well. The only other one that we have that is here, we might start off in the beginning stages just to clean it off. And so we'll throw it in there for now, for just a little bit while it's heating up. But once it gets heated up, I don't want to turn this a different color. So hopefully I'm not going to ruin it that way. So, but we got to do something to try to get all this grime off, and then we'll throw it in the Evapor-Rust. Now the nice thing about this is that my experience has been in here, especially if it gets heated up, it can turn this a different color. But if you put it in the Evapor-Rust, like on my little machine right next to me, it doesn't affect the color, it seems like. But anyways, we're going to try to put that in there at least for a little while, okay? And so there we go. All right, so let's get this bad boy turned on, and then we're going to start the process. So it's on, and let's see if I can lower my camera down just a little bit. So you can see we have it on, and it is at 24 degrees Celsius. So we're going to click that on, and it's going to get up to 60 is what I have it set at. And right now we got it on 30 minutes. And so I say, let's go. And I'm going to pause it right here and let it do its business. Okay, so I got it out of the bath over here. And as you can see, we have this, have it at least not dirty as far as being filthy that way. So before I put it in the Evapor-Rust, because the Evapor-Rust is going to help us get, incidentally, inside all of these crevices that we can't get otherwise. So I went ahead and was able to break loose because it was been in the bath, that bolt. And so that's a good thing. But you can tell this side probably, this side has a lot more of that rust than the other side. This side's pretty smooth. I don't know how this side's going to turn out, but we're going to give it a whirl. The other thing is you can tell, at least I think, from the jaws down here, that they've seen some better days. So I don't know that we'll be able to do anything about that, but at least let's get started cleaning them up. All right, here we go. We got the machine powered down just a little bit, as you can tell. It is cleaning up rather nicely, and so that is cool. Now I wanted to pause because I wanted to kind of show you this part right here. My lighting isn't all that great right here, so it's kind of hard to try to see, but there's where it says Vise-Grip right there. And so, man, that's turning out nice. And this side is the smoother side. This side was the pitted side, or at least the surface rust, or the rust was a lot more prevalent. But my goodness, I think it's going to clean up pretty all right. So you can tell the difference here between what I've done so far and the rest of the handle. So I think let's keep on going. I just wanted to take a moment to kind of show you that part, and let's just see what else we can do. Here we go. Okay, so here we are. We got them all cleaned up, and so that part is really good. Again, we've got that Vise-Grip right up there. Here's the other thing we discovered. It says right up there, DeWitt, Nebraska, and then it has a diamond here. I haven't looked at that close, and I can tell there's some. Sorry about that. I can tell there's some other writing that's in here as well. So we're going to want to get that cleaned up. And so everything is looking really good so far. I really am liking that. Man, what do you guys think about that so far? And so, man, that's just good looking in it. So this actually goes in there like that. And then it goes there. Man, look at that hump on there. Beautiful. All right, so let me get working on it with my little Dremel tool, clean up some of this. Now, incidentally, this is a pretty important step. Get as much rust as you can. Now, remember, the bath took out all the loose stuff. Got in there, kind of vibrated some of that junk out, and then we took it to the wire wheel. We're getting more of it out, and then our final step is going to be the evaporust, because that's what's going to get in this real fine detail. Some of those areas that we're not going to be able to get into normally, that's what the evaporust is going to do for us. So it's important, if you're going to really kind of attack that rust and save your evaporust, make it last a long time, that's an important step. All right, let me get to working on the Dremel with the Dremel tool, and let's see what else we can do here. Okay, so here we are. Now we got it pretty much about as good as we're going to be able to do it by hand. Now we're going to dip it in the ultrasonic again, vibrate all that junk out, all that loose debris that we knocked loose. We're going to get it all cleaned up, and then we're going to dump it into evaporust, and then let's see what we can do. All right, so let's go, and I'll make that happen. And so the next time you see me, we'll be going down the road. One thing I noticed here, did you notice there's some more stamping here? I think it says 109, and then there's that little manufacturer's mark, I believe is what it is. Nothing on this side over here, but then again on the inside, we got that there, so you can see it. Oh, it's a W. It looks like a W, and so there we are. Man, this thing is starting to be readable now, right? So we love that. All right, so let's go through and go get it cleaned up. All right, here we go. Okay, and here's the bolt that goes at the end, the little adjustment knob here. Let's go ahead and get this cleaned up, and then we'll do the same process. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so as you can tell, we got this one kind of wired up, looking pretty doggone good. I don't think there's hardly any, if any, rust in here. Probably need to clean this part up down here at the bottom, but other than that, we're good. Let me see what that looks like if I hit it. Yeah, and so as you can see, I can come down here and clean that part up super easy. Might as well do it since we're right here. All right, so got that. Everything else looks really good. All right, so let me pause that. And as we get going again, that cleaned up pretty nice, but I'm gonna wash it, and then I'm gonna throw it in the evaporust while the other piece is in there anyways, just in case. We're gonna get this bad boy just clean as all get out. Here we go. Okay, so we gave it a bath, we put it in the evaporust, and it got down into the nitty gritty of it all. We're just going to give it a quick wire wheel, and then let's see how it turns out from there. That'll determine where we go next, okay? All right, here we go. Okay, here's what we got. Cleaned up pretty nice, man. I got to tell you, I didn't see no rust in it at all. So now a couple things, and maybe we might have to do this underneath the better lighting. In fact, we will. But you see, it says Vise-Grip. We already went over that. But look, check this out here. In fact, I'm going to wait. I want to wait because we can't hardly get it to focus here. Okay. We are back. I tried to mess around with some of the teeth on this, and it's so flat, and I don't have the right tool to go through and to try to fix it, so I didn't do anything about it. And so just to give you an idea, as you can see, that's what it looks like there. But overall, man, look at this thing. It turned out nice, right? Now, before I put it back together, I want to go through and show you a few things. Number one, remember I was trying to show you over there? Let's see if I can grab this thing correctly here. Check that out. It says patent, and it says April the 8th, 1924. 1924. My goodness, this thing. Now, when you go back and you look at this, this is the Elusive first generation, I believe, Vise-Grip. Wow, can you believe that? I mean, I looked on eBay and I couldn't even see one that is up for sale. I'll look on the sold and I'll put it on the video, but I can't even see one on eBay that is currently on the market right now. You'll notice that one says Vise-Grips right there, and then on the inside of the handle we can see where it says DeWitt, Nebraska, and then there's that original trademark that they had before Peterson. And then as we get going over here on this side, it says 108, I believe. And so I don't know that if that's anything there. I don't think so. But I'm pretty sure that says 108 right there. And so DeWitt, Nebraska, the logo. This one is probably a duplication of that. Maybe 109. Is that one 109 too? Or maybe this is just the part 108 and that part is a 109, and kind of go from there. But even on the inside, look what we did. We're able to get that all cleaned up. That spring is nice and clean. Everything. Man, can you remember the way this thing looked? This thing is amazing, isn't it? All right, so let's go ahead. And before we do anything, we're going to go ahead and oil this bad boy down. And so I think let's see what we can do to preserve this bad boy, right? So we're going to put a little bit of oil on here just to test it out. Let's see what we think about that. And so turns it a little bit darker, but my goodness, I think it's going to get in all those pores. It's going to look good in it. All right, so let's go through and give this thing a bath in some oil here. Kind of get this sucker protected. And so, wow, look at that. That is just rich looking. Wow, wow, wow. All right. Yeah. This looks good. Looks really good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get this all done up, and I'm going to go get me my little Q-tip, because we're going to want to do on the inside of this thing as well, right? And so we're going to give this thing a total lather of this oil. But all these nicks and crannies, all that kind of good stuff, we're going to want to get in there for sure as well. So let's go through and make sure we got as much as we can do here. So we're going to give this one a little bit of oil in here as well. All right, let me go grab that Q-tip and I'll be right back here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put some oil right on the tip here. Get this thing soaking. And that is going to give us a little bit of a head start as we do the oil down in this part down here. So I'm going to throw some drops of oil in there. Take my piece and I'm just going to lather this thing everywhere. I know it's going to be kind of hard for you to see this on the camera, but I want to go through and protect this bad boy for another 100 years. 100 years. Can you believe that? Man, that is killer. I am so stoked that I seen this and that the gentleman, Kevin, was able to let me have it here. So that is pretty phenomenal. Goodness. Guys, that's why whenever you're going out and you're looking around and you look at everything, if it looks unusual to you and you had not ever seen that, you might want to consider picking it up because that's going to make a difference for you in regards to what you might be able to discover out there, right? And so I think this is a work of art. And so I have a lot of Vise-Grips. I restored some Vise-Grips, but I have not ever run across this one here. So that is pretty exciting to me, I believe. And that's the nice thing about this long-handled Q-tip here, is that I can get down deep inside all these little crevices all along the way. Just kind of get it nice and oiled up that way. Okay, I think I've pretty much got this got this oiled up here, so we'll let that sit there for just a second. We're going to throw a little bit of oil on this part. Sorry, I keep bumping the camera. Incidentally, the reason why I do that is because there's my microphone transmitter is hooked onto the end of this, and there's a wire that connects up to the phone, then connects up to the transmitter, and that's the reason why I keep hitting that doggone thing. It's driving me nuts. Need to find a different solution or something. All right, so get this all oiled up here, just like that. And now we are done. So we got enough oil on this bad boy. Let's go through and kind of take a little bit of a towel and dry some of the excess off here real quick. And let's just see what we have to work with here. So take my little towel, drying it all off here, or getting all the extra oil off. And then, man, that just gave it a pretty metal look on it, didn't it? Man, look at that gray that's on there. It's gorgeous. And I know maybe sometimes when I talk about tools, I get all kind of crazy voiced and such like that, but I truly do enjoy it. Man, it's amazing what is out there. And then when you're bringing it back to life, it just, I don't know, it just does something for me. It just gets me all excited. So sorry if I sound too cuckoo that way, but I mean, I really get a kick out of it that way. Okay, so we'll do another drying thing here in just a moment. But before then, stinking wire. All right, so let's go ahead and put our bolt back in here. Man, I just love that. Look at that, 1924. Wow. Is that a 24, 28? Yeah, it's a 24. So April 8th, 1924. Man. And so you go back and you look, and so some of the reference material I was looking at was Alloy Artifacts, and it has a real nice intro into the first pliers. Now, or at least that's the patent date. I think it goes back to the late 20s, early 30s, something like that. And so I didn't see this exact one in there, but I did see that it did have that humpback that's right there. And so, and it matches everything that it talked about. It matches the Vise-Grip there. It matches the look here, the length, and then the markings on the inside of the little handle. This thing is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. What do you think about that? Do you like that? Man, I'll give you a closer look when I get my hands all cleaned up and give it one more wipe down in front of the camera. So, oh my goodness. Wow. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I got to stop. All right. Let me turn the camera back around. All right, YouTube, we are back. Well, I got to tell you, we did that cleaning on that bad boy, and it is nice. Man, check this out. Oh, look at that. Is that a beautiful piece or what? I mean, this is nice, nice, nice. Look at that curvy line, that humpback is what some people refer to it as. That is cool. It has a curvature for the finger for the release. That is cool. But here's some of the markers that I thought were pretty doggone neat. And hopefully you can read that on camera where it says Vise-Grip. Now, when you went back and you looked at like Alloy Artifacts, I love going and researching on their site. They have a lot of nice articles, by the way. If you haven't visited there, you need to go there. But anyways, on the original pair, back in the early 20s, they applied for a patent, and this was some of the markings. They had an ad in there, and one of the markings was that Vise-Grip. It has it right at the top. Another marking was it had the humpback, and then another marking was right on the inside. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let's see if we can get it close enough there, or kind of show what we have. It says DeWitt, Nebraska, and so that was another marking. And then another one is This one says 108 on the inside. You can barely probably see it on camera. And then on the this piece, on the little support piece, it says 109. And so those are a couple markers, but probably one of the biggest telltale signs, besides the look, if you look right on there, and I think we did a close-up on this, so I can get a little bit closer. Goodness. And so I'll put a picture of that on there, but it says April the 8th, 1924. April 8th, 1924. So between the overall shape of the locking pliers, this nut that they had on here, the Vise-Grip, the marking for the inside that says DeWitt, Nebraska, and then the number 8. Oh, and then the April the 8th, 1924, and then I forgot one piece. You'll look right on there. It has that original logo that's on there as well. And so that little W with the diamond. So that has that. I got to tell you, I looked on eBay. I don't see a pair on there. And so I'll look again just to make sure. But so I'll look at the sold section and I'll look at the current section. But my goodness, is that a beautiful pair of pliers? That self-locking or locking pliers. Man, that is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Like I said, I got all kinds of Vise-Grips. I do not have this one, so I'm proud to have it in the collection. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was pretty nice. But hey, it doesn't stop there. You know, I told you I was going to clean up a tool, and that's the reason why I'm all dirtied up here. I've been cleaning like crazy. And so I told you I was going to clean up a tool, but I didn't stop there. Let's look at some of the other ones. And so remember that old wrench? Well, that cleaned up pretty good too. So didn't need a lot of it there. But that's what that looks like. And so this actually, if you hadn't already figured it out, this is no steam wrench. Some people I've seen online, because of the shape, you might notice there on this side, called it a pickle wrench as well. And so that could be, but I think it most commonly is referred to an old steam valve adjusting wrench. And so, but how cool is that? Man, I don't have that one in my collection. And so I'm excited about that. So I went ahead and cleaned that one up. The next pair that I cleaned up was that one. It was a no name. And so as we go through and look at this here, man, check that out. So it drops down, has this piece down here as well, and then how you adjust it. Now this one's kind of rough. You can see it didn't clean up nearly as well. Hopefully you're reading that on the camera really well, but it was severely pitted on this side, and this side had some as well. But anyways, as you go through and you push in this button right here, then you can adjust it up or push it in, and it'll actually drop down to whatever level you want it to be. And I think it has 3 different levels that it can adjust to. There's one. Let's see if I can figure it out. 2, 3, 4. It actually has 4. It has 4 different adjustments once you push in on that button right there. Oh my goodness. I do not have this one in my collection. And you know me, I got all kinds of pliers. And so I can't wait. Can't wait. We're going to add it to the little tool museum, our little miniature amateur version hour of our museum that we're going to create in the future as soon as we get electricity. Come on, guys, hurry up, get that project done so I can get some juice in there. So anyways, that's what that is there. So we cleaned up that one. So there's 3. Check out this one. Remember I couldn't quite read the writing on the handle. Well, check it out. We can read it now. The Robert Wrench Company. And so that's what that looks like there. And man, look at that bad boy. That is pretty, isn't it? Wow, look at that. And so I think it's a pipe wrench. I need to look it up and see, but I think it's the teeth on this thing are so aggressive. That's what makes me think that there. And so, but anyways, you go through and you can hold this bad boy and you can open it up and grab onto something. And I got to tell you, as strong as that spring is, it probably ain't letting go. And so, this one says patented and patents pending on the other side of the handle, by the way. So that's what that looks like there. And so there's the head of it. as we get going. My goodness, this thing cleaned up nice. Now I did take a liberty with this one. I just kind of wire wheel oiled it up, but I blued the inside. What do you think about that? Was that a good touch? Bad touch? I should have left it natural. I don't know. To me, it looked kind of pretty, and so it really made that Robert Wrench Company, New York stamping just really poof, it just came out good. And so, anyways, love that, love it, love it. All right, so there's that one, and then the last one we cleaned up besides that that old Vise-Grip was this old pair of channel locks. And check this out here. Now I haven't even wiped the handle down all the way, but I did go through and work on it. And so as we go through and look at this, my goodness, look how good that one cleaned up. Wow. In fact, this one has all the patents that are on there. And so you can see that I haven't even had a chance to wipe down the handle yet. So I think I can get it a little bit cleaner that way. And then on this side, you might remember it said 910C. And so, but I mean, even the spring, everything cleaned up really, really well. Now, remember, I thought it was locked up in the beginning because I was just too dumb to understand how to work it. Well, I figured it out. I figured it out. Check this out. And so as you go through, you pull up, you pull back on this one. That's what opens it up. And then you need that, once you get it, you need that extra little bit. You'll go through and you can pull in on this part and lock it. And then this is the release lever. And we can tell it's a release lever because of how this part is hitting right at the top here. So when you push down, see it allows that to open up. Well, my goodness, how cool is that you can adjust it. Now, this bad boy goes back a little ways too, and so it goes back. In fact, we'll look up those patent numbers because I forget the year, but this is one of the very early ones of channel lock. And I got all kinds of channel lock as well, but I do not have that one. Man, talk about some unique finds, don't you think? So, man, how cool is that? So there you go. That's what we got for you today. We're excited. I love it, love it, love it. Show you a picture of all 5 of them together. And then the only one we did not clean up, incidentally, the only one is that perfect handle wrench. That one's pretty rough, man, but that's another project that's on my radar. I have some ideas. I hope you like it. And so you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. So that's coming up on a video. Anyways, that's what we have for you. Put down in the comments what you think. Did you think they cleaned up well? What are your thoughts on them? And do you agree with the age? That sort of thing. Or if you have some history or if you have them in your collection, please put that down in the comments. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button. And until next time, we'll see you on the next one.